Hello, Jaya Lee here. How is everybody? I want to talk a little bit today about, something to do with a quote, what we resist persists. I've been experiencing that today. Very, very rarely I'll get a little mild headache. And I've had this kind of tension headache all day. And, kind of ignoring it as I do my work, and I had a few clients today. And then I realized I actually had a session with a kinesiologist, and I realized that she was like, well, what are you... We got to this point, so I won't connect all the dots, but what are you resisting, like birthing? There's something within you that you're resisting birthing, and I really have felt that, and I share because maybe you can relate. I really have felt like what I'm here to create and birth into the world is shifting. The energies of what I do are changing. Even the people that I'm going to be working with, it's kind of shifting the type of person. And I don't know exactly what it is yet, but it's bigger. It's going to reach more people. And I feel like a lot of the work that I do with people, we start with clearing things, like clearing old beliefs and patterns. And I do think you need to do that. And then I'm starting to wonder and feel like you can linger in that a little too long, and that it's the activation and the reclaiming and remembering who you are that's more important. So I think it's gonna be something like that. We need activated souls in this world. So I made this connection that, okay, yeah, there is something that I have in mind, and I'm sort of resisting talking about it, and raising my fees and all of that to support the work, and to value how deep it is and how deep I go with people, and the sacred container that I hold, and the outcomes that I provide. Just this Saturday when I did that class it was 4 amazing women, and thank goodness it was just 4, not 5 as originally planned, because we went overtime, and it was awesome, and I was sort of spent by the end. But to just watch their magic and their lives and the clarity of their path come alive was amazing. And I had a session with a client today who went through my Woke Warrior Goddess program, and we're just kind of having a follow-up session a few months later, and it's like so clear what she's here to do, and it's incredible. Like, all of these women are here to do such potent, necessary work, and so are you. So this is why I do the work of clearing these patterns first and then reclaiming. Hi, Joy, how are you? So Joy is an amazing woman as well, who's doing potent work, and yes, I'm going to be seeing you on Wednesday, I think. So I was talking about the session I had with the kinesiology where I'm having a little bit of a headache. She's like, what are you resisting birthing? And then I connected it. We can connect this to our past, right? These are patterns. And when it's a pattern, it repeats. I might get cut off if my battery's done, so I'll try and kind of be succinct, which is sometimes really tricky for me. I realized that kind of happened with the birth of my daughter. So it was a really long birth. It was a traumatic birth. It ended in an emergency C-section. And of course, with all of this, I can see the divinity in it and how it was all meant to go down like that, and what I learned from that. And then this karma for her and how she came into the world and all of that. But her head wasn't descending, and I still have tension in the left side of it's actually an internal muscle, but it's around the left SI. And her head was stuck there. I had that confirmed actually with a body intuitive who saw the whole birth. She's like, her head was actually stuck. And that is what happened. Her head, it wouldn't descend fully. It descended a little bit, and then it wouldn't descend fully. And I feel like I was clenching too, and obviously there's so many things involved in a birth. But I'm just using that because it describes exactly, what I'm doing right now. It's like, I'm ready to let it go a little bit, but not completely. Right? I'm ready to birth out that project and the new way of being in the world a little bit, but not completely, right? It's fear-based, and we also discovered that it's also to protect her, right? Well, maybe you're safe in there, just like stay in there. And, so to protect myself, right? It's like, it's safe here. being like this, right? Even though I know I'm supposed to expand even more and trust even more. So I just share that with you because perhaps you can relate, right? Like, what are you resisting? What are you keeping in so much that it's creating tension in your body, in your mind, in your relationships? This is how these patterns show up, right? And I talk a lot about how it's not your fault, because a lot of them, you can take them back to childhood. You can always take them back to your past. I, with clients, take them back to past lives. I think it's important to get to the root and extract it. And so that's what I mean. Like, and it's even ancestral too, some of it, right? So root, we go right back. We find out the story. That's all kind of really interesting and fascinating, but we don't want to stay stuck there. It's cool to know it, but only so that you can recognize how it shows up and why, and you can have compassion for it. So it's not your fault, but at some point, if you want this tension, if you want this frustration, this restriction to stop, then you need to take responsibility for doing digging, right? Digging, getting the support you need to clear it out, and then to reclaim the parts of yourself that are really supposed to shine. And it's like, we really need to accelerate this now. So therapy is fantastic. Like, if that's the support you want and need, go get it. But what I want to tell people is that it's not about reliving trauma, and it's not about years and years of, I've done it. Like, I've read the self-help books, I've followed the self-help gurus, I've done all the free quizzes and stuff. It's like, you know, what can you do to accelerate it, to accelerate this path, so you don't have to go through, you don't have to drag yourself through the mud. You really, really don't. So, so yeah, that would be my message for you to ask yourself today. What are you resisting birthing? Where and how is it creating tension? How does that show up? And you know, I am going to be shifting how I do things. It's going to be a lot more group work, which is great. But if you do want to work with me privately, you want to get in now, because my rates are going to be going up, because I'm not going to be able to take on as many people as I have been. And it's been a real joy and pleasure, but I am going to have to shift the way I do things in order to birth what I'm here to birth in the way that it needs to come through now. Also, another little reminder that I do have that amazing group program that's 1 month. Soul resurrection. We're going to go deep into ancestral karma, but I say deep because it's deep work, but we're going to uproot it really quickly. We're going to become really clear. Like, I work really fast now, and I'm in Aries. I hope it doesn't make me come across as impatient, but it's like, I'm not here to allow you to stay stuck. And so, I mean, I've triggered people. I know I've had people like decide to like work with me and then pull back a little bit, and then it gets really icky, and I'm like, you know, calling them out on some stuff, and they get triggered and go away, and that's fine. There's more work to do, or maybe I'm not the right person, but really it's been very interesting. There's been a few times this year where a person's gotten triggered and fallen right back into the exact pattern they hired me to help them clear. It's fascinating stuff, and I have compassion, guys, because it's deeply embedded into your cells. So in this program, we're going to do ancestral karma. We're going to clear the guilt and shame. Those are the really sticky ones that can keep you stuck in that restriction. And we're going to do a lot of voice stuff, clearing the throat chakra blocks. We've been hanged, we've been burned, our voices have been silenced repeatedly, right, ladies? Over and over and over again. And so when it comes to this life where we you know, hopefully not all of us on the planet right now, we want to do the work of using our voices and creating abundance for ourselves so that we can help the people on the planet who don't have that privilege right now too, right? So we're going to do that. We're going to do a lot of voice work, and then we're going to get really clear on why you're here and what do you need to reclaim to just be doing it right now. So before my battery dies, Joy, you haven't worked with Jaya, you should. She does amazing work. I've done all the stuff she just talked about too. I love you, and I said that to my client this morning. I'm like, I love you. She's like crying, I love you. And it really is a heart to heart. It's deep soul work, and I'm so honored, and I'm not even amazed anymore by the women that I attract to work with me, because it's a soul contract, right? And anytime, whether it's group or one-on-one, that you get together to do soul work, healing, activation, to get aligned with your path, you've done it together before. Like you have been together before doing the work. The kinesiologist this morning was saying she's an ordained priestess, she's a witch. This woman is amazing. I actually brought her into my one-on-one program, so you'll get a session with her too. And she said, she's like, I've been burned at the stake, absolutely, but guess what? I'm back. doing the work. Like, I will always come back. So they cannot silence us, but make it easier for yourself and clear the stuff out of your cells and just give yourself permission, because it's so glorious what opens up for you, and it feels light, it feels expansive, it feels so full of joy. But it also feels, it's not like it also feels just like peaceful. It just is, right? It's peaceful, it's grounded. It's no, like, not the wondering, the anxiety, the panic, the upset. It's like, I know, right? So if you have any questions about any of that, just let me know, or book in a soul chat. I always love those. It's 20 or 30 minutes for us to I've heard it all, so you can come to that space feeling confident that it's confidential, that I will work my magic, and I can download some stuff for you in that, and then we can talk about how to take this a bit further. So much love to you. Any questions, as always, let me know, and I will talk to you soon. So Soul Resurrection, we're going to start November 15th, 1 month, 2 classes a week, and lots of amazing potent cellular healings and exercises that will take you, from here to here really quickly. So much love. Bye, Joy. Can't wait to see you on Wednesday. Bye.